Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The United States and Israel share the same principles and values, fundamentals, ideas like freedom, democracy, respect for the rule of law, human rights. Our nations also share, sadly, the same security concerns, like fighting terrorism and seeing stability in the Middle East, two issues that seemingly grow worse for the entire region day by day, but especially for Israel. Many of the recent tragic terror attacks and incidents of violence in Israel have been incited by both the Palestinian Authority and Hamas, with Abu Mazen openly inciting the violence himself. Tomorrow, the Foreign Affairs Committee will mark up a resolution that I introduced alongside my South Florida colleague, Congressman Ted Deutsch, which condemns the anti-Israel and anti-Semitic incitement by Abu Mazen and the Palestinian Authority. When Israeli citizens cannot walk out of their homes to go safely to work or go to the grocery store for fear of another terrorist attack, we must hold the Palestinian leadership accountable. Abu Mazen is also threatening Israel at the United Nations, where he seeks to delegitimize Israel and seeks unilateral Palestinian statehood. Just last month, Abu Mazen told the UN General Assembly that Palestinians would not abide by past agreements, proving once again that he is no partner for peace. This morning, a maneuver was foiled at UNESCO when the PA attempted to include incendiary text in a resolution that claimed that the Western Wall was part of a Muslim holy site. And next week, Abu Mazen is scheduled to speak at a special meeting at the UN Human Rights Council. You've got to be kidding. Abu Mazen speaking at a Human Rights Council. President Obama must hold Abu Mazen accountable instead of continuing to give him a pass for his actions and show that actions have consequences. But these aren't the only challenges that Israel faces. In addition to the terror inside Israel, it remains surrounded by threats like ISIL, Iran, Syria, challenges that are shared by the United States. The Iran deal is riddled with loopholes, with ambiguities, outright dangerous provisions, including a sunset clause that paves the way for a nuclear-armed Iran in as little as 15 years. Just bide the time. It also includes the lifting of the arms embargo against Iran and the lifting of sanctions on Iran's ballistic missile program. In addition, the Iran deal releases billions of dollars that is allowing the regime to increase its terror financing and helps fulfill its destructive ambitions in the Middle East. For years, Congress, not the administration, has led the charge to push back against Iran and to sanction it through an effective sanctions program constricting its energy, transportation, and financial sectors. It is now up to Congress to be proactive again, to get out in front of the Iranian deal, and to ensure that the administration Iran accountable and will not allow incremental cheating, because it's almost impossible to see this administration scuttling the deal for anything less than a major violation on Iran's part. We need to develop stronger sanctions against Iran for its illicit behavior and ensure that the administration fully enforces the sanctions on the books. While the UN resolutions implementing an arms embargo and restricting Iran's ballistic missile program are still in place, Iran is already testing our resolve. It is violating these resolutions. It test-fired a ballistic missile, and it continues to ship arms to Assad and Hezbollah to use against the people of Syria and against Israel. Congress must move to enact additional sanctions against Iran, and we must designate and sanction Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps and the Quds Force, because they will be the big winners in this sanctions relief. We must target Hezbollah and Iran's other proxies, because you can be sure that with Hezbollah, it is only a matter of when, not if, it decides to attack Israel. We must ensure that Israel has what it needs to defend itself from Hezbollah and from other outside threats. With Iran providing Hezbollah with more advanced rockets and missiles, even with precision-guided systems, Israel is facing an enemy with almost 150,000 rockets pointed at every major city in Israel. Congress needs to get more funding to Israel for its David Sling system, for its Iron Dome system, and we need to do it sooner rather than later. Israel is an oasis of freedom in a desert of tyranny, a desert of terror and instability. And it is absolutely vital, Mr. Speaker, that Congress and Israel stand together to face these challenges united. The President won't do it. The Congress must. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.